every single minute, there is so much information online. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, where it's like 43 million text messages are sent a minute, 500,000 videos are watched. It's something absolutely crazy. That's why people are so disengaged, overwhelmed, uninterested, and actually really ticked off. So the number of Facebook advertisers just in the last couple of years has dramatically increased, right? The cost per customer has increased by 60% in the last 5 years. That's what this is. So if you're running Facebook ads, it's much more expensive. But if you have a smaller number of people, if you only have 80, if you only have 100, it's much less of an ad budget than having to spend for tens of thousands or however many you're going after if you're marketing to everyone. And direct mail has actually declined over from 2017 to 2022. It's 2.7% less on average because everybody's jumping online. Nobody's doing anything in the physical. So that's why it can be a critical step amidst all of the things that you're doing online.
Here is your daily dose of the Ultimate Sales Machine coming to you from the new edition. Visit ultimatesalesmachine.com to get your copy or multiple copies. I am your host, Amanda Holmes, CEO of Chet Holmes International. What you're about to learn has assisted 250,000 businesses to generate billions of dollars, working faster, better, smarter.
Now, I also wanted to bring this up because it's very critical that Dream 100 is something that can take up some of your time. We recommend an hour a week, but if that's your only strategy, it can take time, right? Dream 100, like Luis was saying, this one particular person will refer them so much business, it'll be magnificent, but they didn't stop their whole business just to go after that one. They just continued to nurture them. So you have to make sure that you're not stopping everything else that's working just to focus on Dream 100. I have to put that warning out there so you understand. I'm not telling you to stop your business. I'm saying, can you work 1 hour a week to be hyper focused on that one that can catapult, right? So with that said, on page 121 from the Ultimate Sales Machine, this was such a great story. I had to bring it up. This was my father. He had a client that was sending out direct mail pieces. They would send 20,000 direct mail pieces and they got not one response. They're like, okay, obviously there's something wrong here. They're not able to generate appointments. They just can't get an appointment. So when they analyzed that, when my father analyzed the sales, he realized that majority of sales were in the $10,000 to $28,000 range. But then there was one company that was $160,000 that had bought from the client. And he asked about it further and realized that those companies were a dream client for them. It was more like 100 to 300 staff. And the best kind of companies for this particular company was an IT company that did computer systems. So for them, if they have an old computer system and they have over 100 staff, but not so many so that they're trying to replace 1,000, they're more in the sweet spot of 100 to 300 is a dream client for them. I'm just trying to define what a dream client is. So he said, okay, let's focus in on how can we go to, instead of the 20,000, can we narrow that down? So they narrowed it down to 2,000 companies in their geographical area that had over 100 staff, but below 300 staff. Now they put 2 people on the job of calling those 2,000 and just openly asked the receptionist, hey, we're just doing our annual survey and we just had 2 questions. What computer system do you have right now? And how old is it? 99% of receptionists just answered it because they didn't think that they were selling them. But what they were doing is they were qualifying of the 2,000, which ones were better buyers for them. So they found out that 508 of those 2,000 had old computer systems, which was perfect prime for a Dream 100 campaign. So they went to those 508 and they sent a Rubik's Cube with their direct mail. And they said, puzzled how to double or triple employee productivity? We guarantee to find you 12 ways to reduce cost, or we'll give you a $5,000 gift for your trouble. There was one response from the direct mail piece, which was they had 0 responses from their 20,000, but it was a 355 employee company, and it would have been their biggest sale in the client's history. So they were quite thrilled that they got that appointment. After that, once they sent out the direct mail piece, then they followed up with a phone call and got 15 more appointments. What am I trying to say? It's not about just doing one thing once. It's about a full campaign where you're perpetually reaching out to them. And it could be on just one medium, or it could be on 2, or it could be on 7. It's up to you and how heavy of a lift you can lift within your organization. So for them, they sent out a direct mail piece and they followed up with a phone call to get another 15 appointments. Within 6 weeks, the company had more business in play than they'd had in the whole previous year. And they were all big deals. It wasn't the 10 to 28, right? They're more looking at 100,000, 150,000. And prior to this, the Dream 100, a sales rep was struggling just to get one appointment. But then after it, they were getting 3 a week, even up to 30 appointments a week. And turned out that the company just got very overwhelmed and they had to focus on the back end of getting everything in place because they had too many leads coming in. Again, good problem to have. All they were doing is direct mail pieces twice a month and then following up with a phone call. So 1 week direct mail, 1 week follow up with a phone call, 1 week direct mail, follow up with a phone call. So we're just trying to create top of mind awareness. And if you keep marketing to someone, they'll go from not knowing who you are to knowing exactly who you are, to possibly annoyed that you won't go away, to starting to respect you because nobody has ever reached out to them this persistently. And then they'll actually feel obligated because you have reached out to them so many times. Okay. But it's critical to know that the right person. That's why we spent so much time figuring out, okay, who is the right dream client, right? So that all these reps are worth it, because in the end, this is a client that could generate me 10 times more. Or for us, we're focused on a niche right now because we just love health and wellness and longevity. And wouldn't it be so cool to work with these crazy cool companies? That shift is quite critical. It's also critical to know who has the authority to say yes. Yeah, we were just talking about this, where how many of you have found dream prospects, but you don't know who within the organization you need to reach out to? We found their company, we look on their website, we're looking on LinkedIn, we're looking at Google Maps, we're calling the receptionist. There's many different ways to find out who that is. But if you continue to ask, right? So we called into, for instance, anti-aging bed, because you got 5 different people's names to the point of where you're saying, oh, I talked with Tim and I talked with Rebecca and here I am now. And they said that I should talk to you. And all of a sudden they think, this person knows my business. They're acquainted with my people. Of course I should talk to them. And they faintly remember you because they've seen your name and your face in many different places because you friended them on LinkedIn. So let me dive into a couple of things about direct mail. So we recommend choosing a gift, right? If it's something that's lumpy mail, it's much more possible that it will be open. And you can buy your gifts. Orientaltrading.com is a great place. You can buy them in bulk. Amazon. I got a ton of fire trucks and helicopters and motorcycles. It was like $25 for 50 of them, which was a great deal. It's something small. The point is to grab their attention with something entertaining. So you can also, another one, so Salesforce did this to me where they said, hey, would you like a gift from us? We will give you any gift in this qualification on Alice.com. So Alice.com has a list of 200 gifts that they can pick from, and then they order their own gift in exchange for booking an appointment, which is pretty interesting. We recommend keeping the gifts inexpensive because all we're trying to do is differentiate us from everyone else. And I'll show you some examples of this, because a lot of people that send a very expensive gift, we've had it often where they end up sending the gifts back or they feel bribed and then it doesn't feel right. So we're more on I know there's a lot of different beliefs on gifting today. We're more of the belief, make it cheap, but beat your competition with your brain, not your wallet. So also things that can be useful or that their kids can use. So, right, you can get a magnifying glass, use a calculator, a miniature toolkit, a paddle ball, a glider, a Rubik's Cube, metal whistle. There's just funny, silly things. In one of them, we sent out makers. Are you making enough noise at this next trade show? And we sent a couple because you throw them around the office. Oh, this is funny. That was clever. The key is taking the gift and also tying it into the message in the letter, but I'll get to that in a moment. Personalized gifts, if you have a target 12, let's say, or a target 1, because of social media today, you can get way more information about them, and then you can get them a more personalized gift. Out of our dream 80, we had 40 addresses that we could mail to, and only one of them I got a specialized gift for. But that one had 9 companies, and we've already booked that appointment, which is great. Just to give you an idea. So you can either send bulk or you can get more specific. It wasn't 6, it was 9. So somebody once sent me a Dream 100 that had my face on socks. It is hilarious. Every time I go into my sock drawer, I look at those socks and I remember Dennis Yu. I just think it's so funny. So I ended up putting it in the new edition of the book. You can go to myfacesocks.com and get their face on a sock. Definitely an attention grabber. So Johan had 1,000 dream clients. He bought 4 gifts, which cost him $13,000. He sent one out a month and generated $9 million from that 13,000. Pretty nice ROI. So the key with this is to tie the headline of the direct mail piece in with the gift. So let me show you this. And all of this is in your workbooks. So this is a letter that could accompany a stopwatch, for instance. Dear sir, every second that you do not get our free executive briefing, the 5 most critical insights in whatever your industry is, you are losing money. This is free for your community. We've sponsored it as a way to give back to the market. It contains more than 3 million in research. It's boiled down to a bullet styled, fast-paced, outstanding education on how to increase business in this scary period of rising competition. Call for your free education briefing today. The clock is ticking and you're losing money. So we're tying just the slightest tie between the gift and the direct mail piece makes them go, oh, that was clever. That's all we want to create. We want to grab their attention and we want them to think, oh, that is clever. So a tape measure, make sure you're measuring up, right? A whistle, blow the whistle and rising costs. Calculate how much you're losing or saving in your battle to dominate. I've heard sending a shoe. I just want to get my foot in the door. So another thing that I want to say about direct mail too, is you want to make sure that you want to write their address. It's okay if is from somebody else, but your to should be handwritten. And you can get anybody to do that. I employed my family to write our addresses because many of you don't know, but the only job I ever got fired from was working in a mailroom because I kept writing the wrong address. I had to quit. Actually, they were going to fire me and I said, it's okay, I'll quit. But I was working for free. Anyways, write the addresses, and then the mail, the envelope should be something that stands out. For us, I sent it in FedEx because I wanted them to open. It was a priority mail and one of those big things. It cost $9, but it was worth it because I wanted every single person to open it. Or you do an envelope that's in a different size or it's a different color. Just don't go with your typical envelope. They should see the envelope and go, oh, this must be something different.
Yeah, I actually used FedEx envelopes, again, Chet Holmes' coach many years ago. And instead of actually shipping them with it, I just had a driver drive them around and hand them out. And so people really didn't necessarily understand that it wasn't FedEx dropping off. It's FedEx, so it's important, and it got through.
Oh, I love that. Josh, you want to share too?
Service called 3dmailers.com online. And I swear they read your book. Yeah, I swear they read. But essentially, they have a whole bunch of pre-packaged lumpy mailers you can send. They have like messages in a bottle you can send and money bags and all kinds of stuff like that. And you can send them all your marketing content and they'll automate the mailing out on your timeline for you.
What's the website?
It's 3D Mailers Online. I'm telling you, the foot in the door, because Troy just told our sales team about this, and we were just doing the final touches on our outbound mailers we got. And they even have the foot in the door thing.
That works.
Yeah, and they're cheap, a couple bucks, $5, $6, everything's really inexpensive. And they do all the shipping for you. So we're doing all the copy. We're sending it over there to them. They're going to print it out and ship it based on our timeline. So it's cool if you don't have the time to stuff the envelopes. Last time we did.
Some guy wanted to get an appointment, couldn't get it. So then he sent an auto detailer to go and wash the guy's car in the parking lot. So he washed the car and then left his business card for the guys. I'm here to wash so-and-so's car. I didn't ask for a car wash. No, you didn't, but someone else did. His name is blank. So we got the appointment from that. Clever. little bit more expensive. We're more on the cheap side, just trying to get the attention, but there's so many more things you can do. Another one Tom Schaff gave me, which I thought was hilarious, is you can mail a trash can. Before you throw this piece of letter into the trash, I just want to have one more try, right? And the letter was in the trash. I'll hold it up and put their address on the trash can. What could be a gift that I could send, and what would be the tagline with it to grab someone's attention? I'll pull up that slide and let's just play around with this concept because it's a powerful one. So they have apps today where you can take a picture of somebody and turn it into a sketch or make it look more artistic. So you can take a prospect's picture from their Facebook page of someone that they love and revert it into a painting and send it to them. Hey, saw this picture. You guys look so happy. I wanted to make it pretty for you. I hear you can even print these. It looks so great. I think you should use this. And it's just something that they would never think about. But if you have a target 12, why not do something fun like that to grab their attention? Oh, wow, that does look so nice. Thank you. I had letters that said, taco bout awesome. And they were in the shape of a taco. So instead of taco bout awesome. And then I put a dinosaur in, and are you feeling outdated in your business with how rapidly things are changing? And then I gave them only chapter 4. Said you can apply these things for decades. So I'm walking around this event right now, and I've got only one full book with me. I rarely give that out because what I want people to do is I want them to read my favorite chapter that leads to our services, which is chapter 4. And then on the back, it says to get the full book, go to ultimatesalesmachine.com, because I want them to buy it. I want them to invest with me, even if it's just $17. I want that buyer's intent because they'll treat you differently if they put out a credit card. So I rarely give out my book. I only give out chapter 4, and you should see the relief on people's faces. They go, oh, thank you. This looks great. I can read this on my flight home. This is also speaking to how many people try it and parts of it work or parts of it don't, and then they give up and stop. This is something you can do for a decade. If you just get into the rhythm of, okay, I'm going to send a direct mail piece once a quarter or once a month, every 2 weeks, maybe that's too heavy of a lift, right? What is the frequency in which feels comfortable for you? Which mediums feel comfortable for you? And how can we execute on just a couple, right? I'm really hyper focused on them. So for us, we had 5 different people, right? We have somebody, so I had my VA that was going on Instagram and went to every CEO of all of the 80 and friended them and said, can't wait to see you at your booth at Biohacking Conference. And nearly every single one has replied back to me, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, holy cow. 1 million followers, 250,000 followers. I'm like, it's money. I didn't have to do any of that. Now I'm just replying to them once they've replied back. So there's little pieces that you can get help along the way with different staff doing different things. We're taking everything we learned today and encapsulating in ourselves so that we can go take action. Have a wonderful week, guys. See you next week.
There you have it. Such a brilliant podcast. If you liked this podcast, please comment, share, post. If this resonated with you and you said, I really need some market data, I really need a better stadium pitch, then you are welcome to join us at the Triple Your Sales Conversions Challenge, which happens August 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. We will be going through and refining and critiquing everyone's stadium pitches. We'll get everyone up on the mic, sharing it. I'll teach the concept. You can bring your staff, your team. It would be brilliant for them to interact and be part of this live workshop that we're doing. Day 1 is about 90 minutes going deep on stadium pitch and education-based marketing. And then day 2, same time, 90 minutes, will then cover the Dream 100 and walking you through the foundation for how to find that dream list, because that's usually the hardest part, is finding that list. And I'm going to walk you through just the first dozen steps on that. And it happens to be that both of these days we'll teach you how to take these concepts that have stood the test of time, and I'm going to show you how to implement it with AI. Yes, we have moved into the AI implementations, and it'll be really simple. For those that purchase that VIP ticket, I'll be giving you data sets that you can insert in to AI to be able to help you craft your messaging like you've never crafted it before. And we'll get that information very quickly. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there at the Triple Your Sales Conversions Challenge. Keep an eye out for your email because it will be popping up there. It'll also be popping up on all of our social and on the website. So August 23rd is when the Triple Your Sales Conversions Challenge starts, and I look forward to seeing you there. Also, if you're listening to this after the fact and it's already past August 23rd, if you want more information, you can visit empireresearchgroup.com. empireresearchgroup.com to learn more. Maybe you want to build your own core story. We do have trainings to help you build your own. And then we also just do it for you. If you say, I don't have the time for that, I want you to build it, we have that as well. empireresearchgroup.com.